Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Is it on?
It's on.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's me with the venerable, the legendary Ray Cramer.
The gray-haired Ray Cramer.
Well, I've got gray hair and I'm not Ray Cramer. And so, truly, you've been on my bucket list to meet and watch conduct, and that was just extraordinarily special. So, if you don't know who Ray Cramer, well, there isn't anybody who doesn't know who Ray Cramer is. So,
there's lots of people.
okay, so you've been doing this a few days. You've been teaching. Has teaching and band changed in the last 40 years?
Well, of course.
How?
It has changed. I mean, there's no question about that. I think that what I find today is that there's much more competition for time, for students' time.
Absolutely.
When I first started teaching in public school, you know, there wasn't all the activities that the students have today, both male and female, especially the female. So I think that we're competing for time and trying to convince them that what we do is not only worth their time, but the benefit that they will gain from being involved in music and how that will benefit them in the rest of their lives. And I'm convinced that it does.
Oh, there's
in a
no question
tremendous
about
way.
that. So what about teachers? Have teachers changed in the last 25 years? When you see a high school band teacher, an elementary band teacher, are they different than they were 25 years ago?
I think sure. I think there's a significant difference in terms of maybe how we go about doing what we do just fundamentally. I think that we have learned over the years that some things work better than others.
Has instruction gotten better in the last 25
I think
years?
instruction has gotten much better.
I think so, too.
Conducting has gotten lots better. I think that
Do you hear the optimism in that? Do you hear that? It's better.
Musicianship has gotten better.
Better.
So I think that that doesn't mean that there wasn't great musicians
Absolutely.
and great teachers, you know, back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. There really were some great teachers then. There are icons in our business, but I do think that we have changed because of all the added fundamental material that we have, even the technology that's used in the band room today.
Yeah.
We did not have, you know, back in even when I started teaching in the 60s.
You spend a lot of time abroad, in the Far East particularly. Are bands different in the Far East? And if so, how? Or are they all, is a band?
Well, I think the bands, of course, I spend a lot of time in Japan.
Right.
I've been going over there now for 26 years and working with the university band, but I also have gotten to work with some junior high and high school bands as well. I think that what I see happening in Japan is that it's much different there. They do not have school time to work. It's a club activity.
It's outside the school day.
It's outside the school time. So, as a result, the culture of Japan is such that if a group of people are involved in some kind of an activity, and if the activity is successful and provides them with an outlet, then they're willing to commit time to it. It doesn't matter how much time. So the bands that are really the elite bands of Japan, they commit to, I know that there are bands there that will rehearse anywhere from 24 to 32 hours a week.
Isn't that incredible?
They meet after school,
right,
4 to 8
and they're
o'clock.
all volunteer organizations.
They're all volunteer
and then
organizations.
a lot of them rehearse all day Saturday as well.
A lot of them rehearse all day Saturday, plus Sunday afternoon for 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I had no
Well,
idea.
so there's a great focus on what I want to say, developing a sense of excellence that is above, especially the elite bands, above the norm that what you would expect out of most bands, and that goes for every level, high school, middle school, elementary. I've heard elementary groups that just I can't believe what they do.
It's unbelievable. So, okay, back to American bands. I mean, marches are your forte. Marches are an art form. If you had to give a teacher who struggles with getting that march sound 1, 2, or 3 piece of advice, what would you say someone who's trying to get Sousa to sound like Sousa?
First of all, research.
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of great material out there on research that you can find out a lot about how Sousa ran his band, what kind of sounds he wanted out of his band. So I think research is one of the things that you can't just put it in front of the kids and say, okay, that's what it says, that's what I'll do. But there's much more there than what is on the actual score. Number 2, the thing about rhythm, that the marches are so exacting about rhythm, and that I find most people try to overplay marches in terms of tempo, that they try to go
okay.
faster than they should. Number three, the business of color. In other words, really looking
So
of
hard
how
on a
the
march.
color changes and making it happen. Sousa was changing instrumentation all the time, even on the podium during a performance. He had signals.
Really?
He had signals to his clarinet section or his sax, or the brass stay out here, clarinet's down an octave, flutes out here, piccolo up here. And so just during a performance, he would give signals to his players, and they would know exactly what to do on the second strain or the first strain or whatever, just because what he looked, and sometimes he just looked at them, and they would know what to do. But he was always changing his instrumentation because they played so much that he felt like if they didn't change dynamics, color, style, whatever, that it would get boring to the audience as well as the players. So it was always fresh. It was always fresh.
So to all the folks who are watching this, which is really my mother and my golden retriever, that I named Granger, by the way.
Oh, good.
If you had to give a piece of advice based on your 40 years of experience to a director who's just starting their profession, what would you tell them? Because nobody's bigger than Ray Cramer in this business.
What I tell young people today is this, that first of all, there are two things that are really important. You've got to have a passion and a love for students. That has not changed.
It hasn't for you.
It
I mean,
hasn't,
I
no,
just
but
watched you on the podium.
But it hasn't changed for in the last 50, 60 years. That does not change. If you don't love working with students, then you probably are going to struggle. So I enjoy working with students, and I think directors need to really enjoy working with young people. Number two, I think that you have to continue to educate yourself. I don't think you can ever stop educating yourself. What does that mean? Does that mean you go to school after school? No. That might mean that. That might mean that. But I think what it means is that you try to get in touch with people that you respect in the business and see what they do, follow what they do, hear what they do. You can always learn from someone. I'm still learning. I love to go to clinics. I like to watch people conduct. I like to watch them rehearse because I'm still learning something from them.
You are truly an icon of this profession, and I have wanted to meet you for decades.
Well, it's
And
nice to meet you.
It's been an absolute joy.
Been my
I want to
pleasure.
thank you for your time, David. I want to thank you for your term of service to this profession, and you continue to make it a better profession. If you've not had the chance to watch Ray work, you need to make that happen. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Thank you.
Take care and have a great one.
Good luck to all of you out there.